Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of the Oshidis Disability Africa Show. Remember, this is the best disability show in the world. Why? Because we talk matters inclusion, we talk matters changing lives. I'm your host, Maureen Kaveke, and with me, kama kawaida, is a one Martin Kilabi, a man who is passionate about such issues. I will ask him to say hello to us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Maureen, for having us again. It's always a pleasure to be in the show, and we don't take it for granted. Thank you so much, and thank you, our viewers, for taking yet another time out of your busy schedules to watch these videos and listen to the content. We do appreciate. This is Oshidis Disability Africa, bringing you the best shows, and thank you for the support so far.
And thank you for the vision. It's such a great vision.
I'm honored.
That's why we are here today. And I'm sure the lives are changing, lives are transforming.
Absolutely.
That's why we are here.
Yes.
Thank you to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Dear viewers, today, as you can see, we have a beautiful, you know the meaning of beauty? A beautiful, amazing lady.
Yes.
By the name Sally Liani. She's a children's officer, all the way from the River sub-county. She's loaded with so much information. And actually, most of us tunalea watoto, we don't know their rights, we don't know, all these sections in law, and even in the act, and what we're supposed to do, what are their rights, all these things. She's here to shed light on such issues. My goodness, you just need to take a nice seat, relax, and listen, because you're going to learn a lot about children's rights and protection. Sally Liani, it's such an honor to have you today.
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
You're welcome.
Please
introduce yourself to our viewers. We are eager to know about you.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here today to talk about matters concerning our children. My name is Sally Liani. I'm a children officer at the River. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Wow, and I know viewers are wondering, children's protection, children's rights. What are we talking about? Let me try to break down just a little bit. Although I'm not an expert in that area, that's why she's here. But mostly we're talking about like children's neglect. When parents or one parent neglects the child. We are talking about children trafficking. Yeah? We are talking about children's defilement. And I'm sure you've come across such kind of cases where children are being defiled, and especially so those with disabilities. You can imagine someone defiling a child.
And even abused, Maureen.
And they're abused. These children are abused. And that's why.
And being denied their basic, needs, which include emotional support. And I think that's why we have this amazing instrument of God.
Thank
you so much for always identifying and bringing valued and worthy guests to the show, because we learn a lot speaking on behalf of our viewers.
Yeah, you see, Sally and Martin, last year we dwelled so much on the problems. So we thought this second phase of these shows, we try to bring solutions. Yes, because now we're telling people, this is this problem and this condition, and so we leave people hanging. So after that, what do we do as parents dealing with these children? What do we do as people who have disability? So we want to take that other direction, although we'll be mixing, we'll be mixing these issues maybe from show to show, depending on the need, right? But right now our focus is on the solution, and that's why I started. You are here. Please take over the show. This is your day. Shine.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So basically, at the Children Office, we deal with all matters concerning children who are below the age of 18 years. And there are certain principles that we work with. We don't really discriminate. Yes. So the best interest of the children is paramount. Even at the court level, children matters are usually given first priority. At the same time, we look at child participation. It's very important when we are having a session with children for us to be able to prepare reports for court. So child participation is also important. And also we deal with matters concerning parental responsibilities. That's why we're here to talk about children with disabilities and also parental responsibilities, which are included in the New Children's Act 2022, which talks about how children are supposed to be taken care of by both parents, who is the mother and the father of those children. When it comes to parental responsibilities, there's usually something called a joint parental agreement at the children office. So when parents, let me say, for example, they've separated, they come to the office so that we can have a joint parental agreement where both parties are supposed to have equal parental responsibilities over the children when it comes to their basic needs in terms of education, in terms of their medical treatment and all that. So basically that's what we do at the children office. We also counsel children, we do mediation when it comes to families, and we also do counseling because we usually have matters of truancy children who just don't want to go to school. They don't want anything to do with education. Some of them tell you that masomo haingi. So I don't really prefer education. I want to do vocational training. So when they come to the office and we do counseling, they see the importance of education. We even tell them, do you want in future to be somewhere? Do you want to be a children officer? What would you like to be? So when we talk to them, at least they're able to open up.
Yes.
Yeah, and be able to see the importance of education. Some of them continue the education and others, they really want vocational trainings. And at the same time, we handle defilement matters. It's so unfortunate that it happens at our office, especially at the river, we have a lot of defilement matters. And we came to realize that people who defile children are not really strangers. They're people who are known to the child. And it's so bad. We have incest matters when it comes to defilement. Yeah, we have a lot of ongoing matters at the Mavoko Law Court, defilement matters. So at the same time, we came to realize that when it comes to children who are disabled, they are very vulnerable because they cannot really stand for themselves, or defend themselves in any way. So we found out that children with disability are very vulnerable, and they can also be a target when it comes to development matters, and not necessarily strangers. They can even be the caregivers who are doing these things to those children, which is so bad. So this just to warn everyone who is taking care of any child at home, be it a caregiver, who can be a relative or a guardian. This is just a warning. There's the Children's Act, which talks about there's a penalty for discriminating a child who is disabled. We've had parents who come to the office and they say that they were abandoned. Let me say, for example, it's a mother comes to the office with a child who is disabled, and they say that venye mzazi venye baba alinotice the disability issue, akamwacha hivyo. So you see akatoroka. So in such matters, you see that that burden is left to one parent, which is so unfortunate. And when it comes to disabled children, you find out that it's unfortunate when it comes to poor families. They have to fend for those children, especially when they are teenagers. It really becomes difficult for those parents because when they are abandoned, they really don't have a support system. Because I remember there's a time we had a matter, a child who was disabled. He had been neglected, and we summoned the mother through the police. She came to the office, and it was so unfortunate that when we listened to her story, we even ended up sympathizing with her because she told us that the reason why she leaves that child behind as she goes to look for casual jobs is because she doesn't really have any support system. So the only way for her and to carry that child every day, to go to the streets, to hustle and look for food, it really becomes difficult. So the only way for her is to leave behind the child so that she can go and look for money for them to be able to buy food items so that they don't sleep hungry. It's so unfortunate. But at the same time, I'd like to urge parents out there, kindly, most people, when they come to the office, when it comes to any children matters, we realize that they don't really know about the Children's Act 2022, which talks about any matters concerning children. And it has really been expounded. It has been drawn from the Constitution of Kenya, Article 53, which talks about the rights of children, but it has highlighted about the rights of children. But now the new Children's Act 2022 has really expounded on the Article 53 of the Constitution of Kenya. And parents should know that the consequences of separation, because it really does affect their children.
Yes.
Because in terms of parental responsibilities, they'll have to share. It's equal 50-50. At the same time, when it comes to the emotional being of these children, their mental health, the separation really affects them. So you can imagine parents have separated, and for example, this child is a special child. You can imagine what that does to a parent. Let me say, for example, that child was used to staying with the mother, but now the mother doesn't want to stay with the child anymore. So the child is left behind with the father. It really affects their emotional development and their well-being in general. So there are real consequences for separation and even for discrimination. What people should know is that when it comes to special children, I call them special because they're really special. These are people who later on come to be our leaders. We've been able to see even the government, there are certain percentage of people living with disabilities who've been given positions when it comes to job opportunities. Let me give a very good example. Even in our office at Athi River, we have a special girl.
Oh.
Yes, she was employed.
What's the condition?
She's sort of hearing. So she doesn't really deal with clients directly. So we've given her online jobs, and she's really doing really good when it comes to child protection matters. The online data entry, it's called Child Protection Information Management System, whereby after documenting all the children matters on the case sheets, we have a sheet called a case sheet, where when a parent comes and reports children matters, we usually record information from the background information, education, and all that. Anything to know where they come from and all that. So those cases, we usually document them online through CPIMS. CPIMS, Child Protection Information Management System. And she really does an excellent job because we're usually among the top, the top, yeah, usually.
And I want to say, Asante Sana, thank you so much for, that is why we are here. We push for that inclusion.
Yes.
And when we hear that a youth or a person with disability has been given an opportunity to either work or to education, that's a score for us. So thank you so much to your office for giving an opportunity to that girl. Take many more. Yes.
Yeah, actually, I was going to, you read my mind. I was going to say exactly that. That's why we are here, and we are trying to encourage more and more organizations to be disability inclusive. Yes, we don't want people discriminating people, because I believe, Martin, no one is useless in this world. Even that person you call mad person on the road can help you. Somehow, they can still be useful to you. So I believe everybody is very useful in this world. Yeah, it doesn't mean that because I cannot hear, then my mind is not working. It doesn't mean, Sally, that because I cannot walk,
Or even communicate.
I cannot do any other thing. No. Everybody is very, very important to us
Yes.
as OSHD's Disability Africa, and even very important to this world. So you are doing an excellent job, and I didn't know that the children's department has so much.
It has a lot.
It's loaded.
It has a lot.
So
That
much
is
work.
that is what is
Wow.
clearly coming out. And I'm going to
Yes.
ask our guest today, Maureen. You know what we face on the ground. We have cases where children with disabilities have been defiled. And I like what you say, because that is the truth. They're defiled by the people who should be protecting them. The people don't come from far. It's either their father, it's either their brother, uncle, cousin. Even in some cases, which are weird, is a mother defiling the son, is an auntie, you know what I'm saying? So would you please shed a bit of light on that, how this should happen, and if in case if it happens, what does the law say, the Protection Act, about this child? What should happen?
So basically, when we receive a defilement matter, usually we receive them from the police station, because before we receive a defilement matter, we find out that the perpetrators had been taken into custody. And in such matters, as the Children's Office, we come in when it comes to the care and protection of these children. So usually what happens, you find out that we have different disability matters. So if we have a disability matter of a child who is able to express themselves about what happened to them in terms of maybe conversation,
Yes.
we do have a session with the children. And when it comes to children matters, they're really sensitive, because you have to make sure that the environment where they're usually interviewed is child friendly. So when it comes to defilement matters, we usually receive them from the police station. And when we receive these matters, the first thing we do is have a session with the children. We create a rapport and make sure that the environment is conducive for them to be able to open up. Because, and also at the same time, you have to be friendly to these children. Because when you show them a serious face and you be hard on them, tough on them, they're not really going to tell you anything. At the same time, at the police level, they've made sure that they have a gender desk, which deals with specifically children. And the gender police usually can be a male or a female, depending on the defilement matter.
Yes.
If the survivor or the victim who was defiled is a male, and maybe that male child had been defiled by another male person, an adult or a female, that matter at the police level will be given to a police officer of the opposite sex. So that
Why is it so?
it's usually that way, because let me say, for example, I'm a child.
Yes.
I've been defiled by, let me say, my uncle.
Yes.
So I'll not really be comfortable opening up to a male police officer. I'll be comfortable opening up to,
very clear.
I'll be comfortable opening up to a lady police officer. At the same time, at the police station, these gender police officers, when they're dealing with children matters, they're not usually in police uniforms. They're usually in civilian clothes. Yes, so that the child is not, and they're usually separated. When they're conducting these interviews, they're not usually with other criminal matters.
Yes.
They're usually separated. The gender desk is separate, dealing with children matters. So
It's
when we
also
receive,
a way of protecting the child.
yes, it's a way of protecting the child. Yes. So when we receive these matters, after having a session with the children, we prepare a report ready for court. Because the defilement matters, the perpetrators, they have to go through the justice system. So when we prepare these matters, we go to the court registry. So let me say, for example, at Athi River, we go to Mavoko. Our court is at Mavoko. Mavoko Law Courts, yes. So we go to the court registry and open a file called a P&C file. These files, P&C means protection and care. And under these files are usually white in color at Mavoko. I don't know about the other courts, but in these files, this is where we monitor the progress of our victims or survivors. We monitor their progress in terms of their education, has it dropped, in terms of psychosocial support, because as the Children's Office, when you're writing these reports to be taken or addressed before the magistrate, we usually recommend. Because when we deal with children matters, we also recommend what's the best way forward. Does this child need to be protected from home? Is this child at home at risk of being interfered with when it comes to matters of testifying? So when we recommend, the very first thing we usually recommend, because this is a child that has been affected psychologically, the emotional well-being. So the first thing we recommend is psychosocial support. They really need to undergo professional counseling. And the good thing with Mavoko is that we have at River Level 4 Hospital, which is very near. It's just next to the court.
Yes.
And we also have professional counselors at the said hospital.
Yes.
So this is where we usually, most of our matters, depending on where the victims reside, we usually recommend that they attend counseling sessions at the hospital, which is near where they reside. And if this child is at the risk of being interfered with at home, maybe the child was defiled by a relative. So we usually do a committal. By a committal, I mean we usually commit this child to a CCI. CCI means Charitable Children Institution.
Okay.
Committals are usually done through the court. So a CCI can be, they're usually private owned, but at the same time, we have statutory institutions which are government owned. Like the rescue centers, for example, we have the Machakos Girls Rescue Center and Remand Home. We have, depending on the different matters, we also have rescue centers, remand homes, we have rehabilitation schools, yes, Boston institutions, which are government-owned statutory institutions. So when we go before the magistrate and explain and present our report on what happened, depending on the circumstance of the matter, basically the child will either be taken back if the child is not at risk at home and that child has a caregiver. The matter will continue as the child is at home, but we'll make sure that that child undergoes psychosocial support. Yes.
Sorry, I have this to ask, yeah?
Yes.
Is the counseling free of charge? Who pays for the charges?
Okay. About that, when it comes to defilement matters, and you see most of these defilement matters, you find out that most of these children are from poor backgrounds.
Yes.
And when they're from poor backgrounds, they're enticed and all that. So the counseling sessions, when it comes to matters GBV, gender-based violence, they're usually free of charge in any hospital. Yes, they usually, There are even private hospitals that take such matters for free. For example, if I may mention one hospital, which is in Kitengela. You've heard about Kitengela Women's Hospital.
Yes.
In fact, most of our defilement matters, they usually refer to Kitengela Women's Hospital because they do them, they do them for free. They don't charge anything. Even when it comes to psychosocial support, they really help us. Yes, because they don't charge. Yes.
That is wonderful. Also, allow me to take you back just a little bit, because at times we do not know where to begin, Martin. Let's say it's a case of defilement. Where do you begin? Do you first report to the police station or do we come to the children's department? Please guide us on us.
When it comes to, there's a referral pathway. When it comes to defilement matters, let me say there's a paralegal at the community level or the community gatekeepers, the chiefs, the Zekijiji and all that. When they get a defilement matter, usually what happens, the first step, when you receive a defilement matter even from a client, the first step is to tell them to report to the police so that they get an OB. When they get an OB number at the police will be able to follow up on the perpetrator. Is the perpetrator known? And if the perpetrator is known, they'll be able to conduct an arrest. At the same time, before they even arrest the perpetrator, who is the most important person is the victim, who is the survivor, the well-being of the victims. So the first step that usually happens at the police level is to make sure that the victims undergo medical examination. So when they undergo medical examination, they are able to determine, did the defilement matter really happen? If it happened, there's a way at the hospital they usually conduct. There's a way they conduct the examination and we are able to get results. So when they get results that indeed the defilement matter happened at the police level, now the police will contact us, the children office, so that we come in when it comes to care and protection of these children as they pursue the perpetrator or the offender. Yes. So it usually, most of the time, defilement matters usually start at the police level after medical examination, and it's determined that it really happened. So we come in as the children office to offer care and protection to the victims. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, although you talked about wazee wa kijiji.
Yes.
Is it a must that someone passes? Can someone just wake up and after the defilement case and just go to the police station to report directly?
Yes.
That's
It doesn't really have, I was given a scenario, let me say, for example, maybe it has been reported to the chief.
Yes.
It's possible. When you get any matter, it doesn't really have lost and found. It doesn't really have to be defilement. You can report at the police station.
Yes.
And the police station, they'll be able to guide you. If they'll be able to offer help, they'll offer help at the police level. If they need to refer that matter to the children office, now we come in as the children officers. They'll be able to contact us.
So yes, it can be through the village elder, it can be through the chief,
or
and
even
if
directly.
enough,
Yes.
you can go directly.
Yes, you can go directly to the police station.
If you ask, you value for yourself.
Maureen, I know you want to ask, but I need to ask this at this point. We have had cases where parents have been frustrated by the authorities, including the police, that they cannot go past that, and they have their daughters or their sons defiled. We have a case, and after this show, maybe I'll introduce that parent to you. How are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do if they go to this level and they get frustrated? Do they come straight to your office?
Yes, as long as and I say this, as long as the matters concerning any child, as a children office, we don't discriminate.
No.
We don't deal with adults. We deal with
children.
specifically matters concerning children.
Okay.
As long as the matters concerning a child,
Yes.
they can come directly to the children office.
Lastly,
It's
who is
open.
the child? Lastly, who is the child?
A child, according to
Yes.
the dictionary of our constitution.
No.
To the constitution, yes.
Okay.
According to the constitution, a child is a person who is below the age of 18 years.
So it's
Any
0 to
person 0 to 17 below 18 years. That's why when a person is found committing a crime and is 18 years and above,
Yes.
that person will have to face the law,
Okay.
the justice system. Yes, yes.
Martin, Sally, and dear viewers, we can talk and talk. There's so much to talk about, and as I said earlier, Sally Liani is loaded with so much information. Martin will come back to your question. Right now, allow us to go on a short break. We'll be right back with more of this. Dear viewers, welcome back to our show. Remember, this is Oshidi's Disability Africa Show. As I've said, the best disability show in the world. We are talking about children's protection and their rights. And
Wow.
our guest, our beautiful guest, has a lot of information concerning that.
Yes.
We're talking about defilement. And Martin, maybe you can make a call to the parents
No.
to report. Maybe you can
It's okay. It's
do
okay,
that.
Maureen. Thank you for that
Most
opportunity.
of them are scared, eh?
Yes, thank you for that opportunity. Parents, you have flooded my handles.
Yeah.
You have my inboxes, you have flooded with these questions. Today, you have heard for yourselves. If a child is defiled or abused or neglected in any way, there are parameters that you should follow. Go to the village level, see your chief, see your village elder. If it doesn't go through, escalate it, scale it up, and go straight to the police station. You can still do better and take it straight to their office, the children office. It's in every sub-county. Go there and report the matter. Do not allow a child with or without disabilities to be defiled or to be abused or discriminated or mistreated in any way.
Yeah.
There are avenues that are open and ready to assist that child and even the caregiver. It is an offense for you to go quiet on matters like this. This will be called abetting, right? You'll be abetting a crime, and you can find yourself in a lot of trouble. And again, your conscience, you'll never be at peace. Report these cases, and let's have a sane community. Yes.
Okay, well said. These children have a right to be protected,
They have a right.
as Sally has told us.
Absolutely.
Sally, we are back to you. We've had so many cases of parents, especially so the men who run away from their children, especially when they discover that this child has a disability. I don't know why it is the men who run away. Rarely you hear that wanawake
But again,
wamekimbia.
But they do.
But they do. I'm telling you, talking from experience and from the practical examples that issues that we've handled so far, men run away from their responsibility.
Women too run away.
Very few, but we are not saying that none should run away. Actually,
None should run
run away. What is the right of this child? What is now the legal implication, or according to the children's office?
Yes.
What should happen to this man who has run away and left every responsibility to the woman?
This parent who has run away.
Oh yeah, this parent. Oh, oh my God. Aye. Mm-hmm.
So like I was saying before, if a child has been neglected by either of the parents, so the other parent has a right to come to the office, the children office, like I said, to report a neglect matter. So usually what will happen, we summon the other party who neglected the child. If you are not able to get the other parent through the summon letters and phone calls, we usually involve the police officers. We write a letter through the OCS so that these people can be able to be located, they do investigations, and they are brought before the children office. So when they come to the children office, we are able to find out why they neglected these children. Some of them have genuine reasons. By genuine, you find out that some of them say that nilikuwa vizuri, nilikuwa na watoto na take up my responsibilities, but mama akasema asiende kwa maisha yake. Mimi nikaona mama amenikataza na nikaacha. You see, most of these matters find out men are the one who say that, sorry to say, because they say that the other party aliwambia asiye kanyaga kwake.
Yes.
But what they don't know is that parental responsibilities, according to the New Children's Act 2022, they're supposed to be 50-50. Whether you're married to each other or not, it's 50-50.
And I think most parents do not know that.
Most
Back to the men
parents,
again, I don't think very many men know that. Na unasema mimi naonea wanaume, ni zile kesi tumepambana nazo. Tumepambana na kesi za wanaume kutoroka bwana.
I agree. And
yes.
I like the way it's coming out.
Whether or not you're married,
yes,
you should take
50-50.
Yes.
50.
So what is this 50-50?
Yes.
50-50, when we talk about 50-50, it means any basic need of a child,
Food.
in terms of food, in terms of shelter, in terms of education, any basic need, until the child is comfortable. So the parents come to the office and we have a discussion, and you find out that most parents are usually hesitant, especially when they've separated, because unapata baba anasema mi siwezi ilisha mwanamke mwingine, siwezi ilisha mwanamke kako kwa, but in real sense the person who is suffering are the children.
Not the woman.
Yes, in fact they think when they're supporting the child through the mother, they think that mwenye anakula hizi pesa is the mother.
I raised that issue, Matthews, last week. I said exactly that.
And that is a really big problem, because the children are really affected. Because if I'm married to another person, it doesn't mean that person has to take care of. I have a right to go to the children's office and bring in the father of these children to take care of his own children. Yes. Yes, if I'm married, most men are usually, they're nice. Yeah. Not all of them are bad. If I'm married to a nice person, even some of them go to the extent, they go to the extent of saying, I'll take up full parental responsibility.
I want to ask a question.
Yes.
I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Because this, whatever I'm asking is cases that we've met.
Okay.
There are parents who have deserted. This time I won't say men. Or say a parent who has deserted. And when they are followed up, they'll always claim that they don't have a job. Okay, how do you handle that? Are they supposed to support the child when they have a job, or is their duty whether they have a job or not?
Okay. Before I even answer that question, I'll even pose a question. Is that parent 18 years and above?
Yes.
If that parent is 18 years and above, as a children office, we don't care whether you have a job or not, because you cannot tell a child not to eat.
Exactly.
You cannot tell a child not to demand maybe to be taken to school.
Exactly.
Yes. So as the children office, as long as
so it doesn't matter whether
you're working or not. To me, you cannot really say you're not working, because there are people wenye wanafanya kazi ya mjengo. They are surviving.
Yes.
Kuna watu wanalipa rent 1,000, 2,000 through casual jobs.
Yes.
Kuna mama fua.
Yes.
And I guess last week for Levina, yeah?
Yes.
Whereby the father of their children ran away for 5 years.
Yes.
Na nakumbuka nikimuuliza, for 5 years, hakukuwa na kazi. Sikumaanisha kwamba jobs are everywhere. But I just meant, seriously, for 5 years you could have done something and supported these kids. So we have these cases. Mtu anasema, I didn't have a job.
You know what the big question here is? When you claim that you don't have a job, as a parent who has deserted the family, when you claim you don't have a job, what do you live on? You don't live on manna. You don't live on trees. You always go at a shade somewhere. You eat food. You wear clothes. You fall sick. You go to the hospital. So this issue of claim that I don't have a job, guys, I don't think it's valid. I think it's so invalid, and we should all take responsibility of our children, whether we are married or we are not married.
Yes.
A child is an innocent person is in this, and they should never suffer. So watu wajumuike na hizi story mingi za kupelekana kotini, let's tie up and stop that. And watu tu take responsibility. It's your child, they're innocent, they're entitled. They're entitled to the basics of life.
Yes.
And so I will put up a call and say, let's make it easy for ourselves and for the children, and even for your ex and the community at large. Jumuika, take responsibility, do what you have to do. You're not helping the mother, you're not helping the father by supplying or offering these services. You're not helping, you are helping your child. You are helping a child who is innocent. Yes.
So at the same time, before we even talk about any other issues concerning children, like I was saying, many people are really afraid of the children office. And I don't really understand why, especially when parents have separated. I would urge all parents, if reconciliation is not in the picture, if you've tried as parents counseling, it's not working, if you've decided, let's separate, kindly visit the children office so that we can plan on how these children are going to be taken care of. Because of the children office, we'll have discussions, we'll try to mediate, and just know that there are also consequences of separation, because it's going to be very expensive when you separate. So when they come to the children office, it's like, hawezi kaa kabisa pamoja, imeshindikana kabisa. We usually talk to them and we read the Children's Act to them when it comes to parental responsibilities. And if they are okay that they want to split responsibilities, what we usually do is there's a form. It's called a joint parental agreement, where both parties, after the agreement, will write down whatever they've agreed on how they've split the responsibilities, and both parties will sign under also the children officer as a witness will also have to sign and will stamp. So that document is very valid, because when one parent doesn't really follow up on the joint parental agreement, we can as well escalate it to the court level. Yes, that's how serious the children office is.
Yeah, because I think, Sally, we've had cases whereby the parents go to the children's office, they agree, and again,
they default.
They default.
Yes.
They pay up maybe the first month, second, third. After that, mtu anaenda missing.
Yes.
So you follow up after that?
Yes, we do follow up. So when we've written the joint parental agreement, and one parent comes back complaining that the other party is not doing whatever they were supposed to do, we'll follow up with a phone call. We try to find out what happened.